Hi. I'm a little embarrassed because it's been so long since I did a video. I didn't even realize how long it had been until I went back and looked at the last video I made. But I am sure that I left you with a lot of good videos that you could practice with. I just have been out of touch. And I had said that I wanted to do osteoporosis part B, and I do want to do that. I want to work a little bit on opening up the hips and stretching the backs of the back of the body and the backs of the legs in particular before we add that second half of the osteoporosis routine. The work that we're going to do today is kind of a, it's not really a warm-up. I mean, you're going to be doing a lot of the parts of the osteoporosis, second half of the osteoporosis practice, but focusing on mostly the lying down poses and seated poses, and I'm going to invite you to be really aware and gentle with your edge so that you're patient, you're staying pretty far away from the intensity at first and working toward more intensity, but only as the intensity melts, as the intensity relaxes and goes away a bit, then you can move into the intensity a little bit more. So especially in the hamstring work. Some of this work you can use a wall, so you can either stop the video and go to the wall when I suggest that you can use the wall, or you can set yourself up so that you are near the wall right from the start. We're going to be using a strap or a tie. You can use a necktie if you want to. And we're going to be using, or optionally using a block. In turning out the hip, you may feel that you need a block. We're going to do a little bit of strengthening as well as stretching. And as always, breathing. So I'm going to start with a card that I picked out of the basket. And it says, develop the habit of seeing what's good. Develop the habit of seeing what's good. So I think now is such an incredible time for finding the good in situations that are not our choices. For some of us who are introverts, and I know you may not think of me as an introvert. In class, I'm not so introverted, but in life, I am a bit of an introvert. And this has like been going to my comfort zone to be staying at home. And that's, I think I might have a hard time coming back out completely. But for some of you, that's a very uncomfortable feeling, not being able to go out and do lots of things. And, it just may be not to your liking, not to be very social. And so see what you can find that's good in that. And I'm sure you've been doing that. It's not like we just started this process. You've been doing it for a while. So I assume you've been finding the good in it. All right. So I'm going to ring the bell a little bit. And I will start after that on my back. So if you would like to be on your back while I ring the bell, you're welcome to settle on your back. Have your props nearby. And breathe and observe. So rest on your back, arms loose at your side, feet behind the buttocks. And the first thing we're going to do is draw the shoulder blades down the back by pressing off with the feet, pushing back toward the shoulders with the feet. Pushing into the floor. The shoulders roll back toward the floor, and the shoulder blades are caught on the mat, and they get pulled down the back a little bit. As you exhale, relax, inhale. As you exhale again, press into the thighs and let that exhalation be long and relaxed. And whenever you're ready, inhale again. See if you can notice that the exhalation is lengthening as you press into the thighs. And maybe there's even a pause at the end of the exhalation where there's no breath. And then as you inhale, reach the arms. Bring them right over the shoulders and take the shoulders toward the floor. And then bring the arms all the way back. You might need a blanket to land on for your shoulders. And on the next exhalation, bring the arms back to the thighs. Press into the thighs. Let the exhalation continue into maybe a pause, maybe not. Whenever you're ready to inhale, reach the arms again. Draw them into the floor as the shoulders and the arms line up toward the ceiling, and then roll back, almost as if the shoulder joints are rolling under, back, under, forward, up, back, under, forward, up. And you can walk the shoulder blades under a little bit, push off with the feet a little bit, and as you exhale the next time, bring your arms down. Press into the thighs, close to the joint, close to the hip joints. Work in your own rhythm. You may take 2 breaths to do this, or you can do them all in one breath. Let that exhalation be a little bit longer than the inhalation, and enjoy the pause, if there is one. Then inhale, reach the arms. And when you exhale, draw the knees back toward the chest, but keep the buttocks moving a little bit toward the floor as you hug into the shins or the backs of the thighs. And the lower back lifts away from the floor a little bit, and you hug in. Take a breath in. As you exhale, relax into the hip joints. Inhale, reach the legs and arms. As you exhale, hug in. Inhale, reach the arms or put them by your side if your shoulders bother you. And exhale and lower the feet to the floor. Bring the hands back toward the thighs and press into the thighs. Finishing with the pause. Inhale and reach again. Or bring your arms to your side, whichever works for you. Exhale, draw the knees back and hug into the shins or the backs of the thighs. Inhale and reach the legs. And you're just going as far into it as it's good for you to go. You may not straighten your legs all the way. We're just beginning. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, reach, exhale, draw the abdomen in, bring the feet down, a low gently. And exhale, the hands back to the thighs and press away. One last time, inhale and reach. Walk the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale and bring the knees back, hug in. Inhale and reach the legs, arms at your side or behind. Reach through the heels. Exhale and hug in. Inhale, either hands to the side or behind. Exhale, feet down and press into the thighs. Inhale and relax. Reaching out with the right leg and drawing the left leg back, hug in. Now, as you draw the leg closer to the torso, also move the buttocks closer to the floor, or the sit bones closer to the floor. Inhale, you might reach or not. And exhale and switch. Inhale and switch. Exhale and press. Lengthen the back of the neck. The lower back is not pressing into the floor. It's relaxed away from the floor while the sit bone moves toward the floor. Inhale and switch. Exhale and press. And then inhale and come back to neutral with the feet behind the buttocks. So on the next exhalation, bring the knees back toward the chest again, hug in. Hold on to the left leg at the shin or the back of the thigh, or wrap a strap around the back of the left leg and hold the strap. and then stretch the right leg out. Now play around with that stretch of the right leg while you press toward the hands with the left leg. So you're reaching through the heel, see how that feels, and see where you're comfortable having the leg. Now you could be at the wall for this part. You could put your leg on the wall and just work on stretching the heel away from the hip joint. And you don't need to be way back toward the face, but if your lower back's going to be uncomfortable being lower with the right leg, then go to the wall and put your right leg on the wall, and the left knee can be bent and pressing the leg into the hands. It helps your lower back to relax a little bit, engages the transverse abdominis, keeps that corset nice and strong while you're stretching out through the right leg. Now draw circles with the foot, go the other way, press the heel toward the ceiling or away, press the toes away, heel away, toes away, heel away. Deep breath. Continuing to press the left leg toward the hands, chin down, begin to lower the right leg. And if you can, you're going to hover the right leg over the floor, but you're pressing the left leg into the hands. If this doesn't work for you, you could let's bring the leg back up and we'll see what we do if that doesn't work. If this doesn't work, then you could put the left foot on the floor, bring the right leg out in front, and just hover with the leg out in front and the left foot on the floor. Or you can just stretch the left leg up the wall. All right, so let's switch legs. You got the right leg in the hands, so the front of the shin is on the hands, or the back of the thigh is in the hands. Or you have a strap around the right thigh, back of the right thigh, and you're holding the strap. You want to press the leg into the hands or into the strap, and optionally you could have that right foot on the floor. Inhale, reach the left leg, and stretch through the heel as much as you can. You might be stretching that leg up the wall. You might have the right foot on the floor. Whatever works for you. And then draw circles with the left foot. Go in the other direction. Stretch through the heel and the toes and the heel and the toes. And now we're going to lower that left leg down. And at the same time, we're pressing the right leg into the hands, the arms as straight as you can get them. And hovering that left leg while you draw the abdomen in, breathing, chin down, and relax. Inhale, and release. Once again, holding on to the left leg at the shin or behind the thigh. Reach the right leg out. And draw the leg up a little bit off of the floor. Keep pressing into the left leg. You might have the left foot on the floor if that's better for you. And then release. Switch legs. Stretch the left leg out. And then while you press the right leg into the hands, you're going to raise the left leg a little bit. Draw the abdomen in. Keep the lower back a little off the floor, but at the same time, draw the abdomen toward the floor. And then release. Inhale and relax. Stretch through the heels. Stretch the arms back if you can. Breathing and stretching the length of the body. Point the toes toward the wall in front of you. Reach the heels toward the wall in front of you. As you reach the heels, take the buttocks a little bit toward the heels without flattening the back. And strengthen the thighs toward the floor. And as you exhale, bring the arms back and let the feet flop open. So, if you're at the wall, you could put your right foot on the wall and your left leg in front of the right thigh. So you're like this against the wall with the wall at your right foot. If you're not at the wall, you can leave your right foot on the floor for right now. And we're going to turn that left leg out. And at the same time, with the right hand, you're going to push into the right thigh so that you're stabilizing the right side of the pelvis. And you're turning the left thigh out with the left hand. You're breathing and observing. So this probably isn't terribly intense. It's pretty stable. Doesn't require a lot of strength or flexibility. You're just doing what you can do. Inhale, relax. Take the flesh of the left thigh and turn it out. And at the same time, push into the right leg, into the right thigh. Turning the left thigh out, stabilizing with the right thigh. Letting the abdomen drop in and support the lower back. Breath in, relax. Put the left foot down. And you might put, if you're at the wall, you're going to put your left foot against the wall. Make a right angle with the left leg. If you're on the floor, just put that left foot on the floor and put the right leg in front of the left thigh. And while you turn the right leg out, you press into the left leg and stabilize the pelvis. Breathing. Take a breath in, relax a little. Pull the inner thigh flesh up on the right side and turn the right leg out. And at the same time, push away into the left thigh. Flex that right foot so that the ankle is neutral. Inhale and relax. Now you could do the same thing we just did. You could also take a block and put it underneath the right foot. We're going to do the left side turn out again. You could put the block underneath the right foot so that you get a little more intensity. Or you can have the right leg up in the air or at a right angle and hold behind the right leg. You could also have the right foot on the wall like we did before. And we're going to take the skin of the left inner thigh and pull it up with the left elbow, turning that left leg out. You might have the right leg straight up in the air or making some kind of angle. And draw the right leg back just a little bit. And you get a little intensity in the left hip. Flex the left foot so that it has a neutral ankle. It should not bother your knee. You're just going as far as you can without feeling any pain. And you're going to stay with it and relax the back of the neck long. Breathe. If you're too intense, back off. You can always go to the wall, put your foot on the floor, and not be as intense with this. And maybe you can, as the intensity melts, draw the right leg back a little closer to the face. Still turning that left leg out, pushing it away. Hold on to the left leg, put the right foot down, hug that left leg in, holding on to the shin or the calf. Reach the right leg out. If you're at the wall, just take the right leg up the wall. Keep turning the left leg out even as you're holding on to the shin or the calf. And release. Stretch the left leg out and feel the difference between the right and the left leg. Watch the breath. Is the breath easy? Is it strained? I want to try to keep an easy breath throughout the practice. Back off a little bit if it gets too intense. So now you might have your block under the left foot, or you might have the left foot at the wall, or you might have the left foot off of the floor and the right leg in front of the left leg. Then you can hold on behind the left leg, take the right elbow, pull the flesh of the right leg, inner thigh, up and out. And as I said, you could stretch that left leg all the way up, or you can have it bent, or you can have it at the wall. And we're going to breathe and observe while you lengthen the back of the neck and let the chin drop, drawing the left knee back, turning the right leg out. Notice the intensity in the right hip. You want it to be an intensity that's acceptable, no pain. And you want to work with that edge so that as you breathe, if the intensity starts to melt, you might turn it out a little more or draw the left knee back a little more. But don't let the chin jut up into the air. That's a sign that you're working too far into it. You don't want to be dropping over to the right side. You want to make sure the left buttock stays down. And breathing and observing. And then we're going to release that left leg, hold on to the right leg, draw the shin or the calf back toward the torso. Keep the right foot flexed and keep turning the right leg out. Keep the left buttock down. You might even stretch the left leg out. Taking the back of the left thigh toward the floor and breathing. Feel where the intensity is. It might be in the right hip. It also might be in the back of the left leg. Just working with that intensity so it melts a little bit. And then release. Stretch both legs out. Stretch through the heels, stretch through the right arm and the right heel. And then the left arm and the left heel. Interlacing the fingers, turn the palms inside out and reach through the palms. Reach through the heels. And release. So you can get your tie. We're going to work on the hamstring stretch. Again, you could be working with one leg up on the wall and being as close to the wall as it's comfortable to be, stretching the heel up the wall if you'd like. That's a little less intense way to do this, so you'd be having your leg out at more of an angle maybe. I'm going to talk you through taking the tie around your foot. And we're going to hold on to the tie by wrapping the tie around your hands. And letting the leg release away a little bit. And so that you're not at your edge. You're far from your edge. You're letting the weight of the leg rest in your hands. If this is uncomfortable for you, you could put your hands back maybe behind your head a little bit. So that, or about at that, a little bit behind your elbow, your shoulders. You could do that and let the weight land in your hands. If your hands start to fall apart, oh dear, I hope they don't fall apart. If they start to fall asleep, unwrap them and find a more comfortable way of resting this weight in the tie. So right now, I'm far from my edge, but I may not be totally in my straightness. So from here, what I'm going to do is really reach into the heel. At the same time, I'm dropping the buttocks toward the floor, but I'm reaching out through the heel to straighten the leg. And I'm breathing and observing. This is only as intense as you feel you want to make it. Don't go to the point of pain. If you begin to feel the intensity is releasing a bit, you could take a breath, and as you drop the buttocks toward the floor, you're going to bring the leg a little closer to the face. Again, your knee may not be straight at this point. You're going to work into that straightness from this new position. And you're going to drop the buttocks toward the floor and reach the heel out. If it's too intense, back off a little bit. So we're wanting the leg to be straight at whatever angle we're on. It may start out a little bent, and then you're working into straightness. As you get that straightness in there, you rest in that straightness. And when you feel your intensity is melted, you can come back a little closer to your face. Always working back into as much straightness as you can once you've found your new edge. Try not to be bending the knee in order to go back. But sometimes when we go back, we do bend the knee. And so then you're going to work back into your straightness. And if you can't get straight, you're going to back away from the face. Again, you could have your hands behind. I'm in a bit of a cramped spot here. You could have your hands behind and use that as a way of stabilizing the leg. You can stay in this and breathe. I'm just going to move away from this dresser a bit so I can get my elbows out a little bit. Okay. Reaching through the heel. Make sure you keep the foot flexed. You don't want to have the toes pointing toward the ceiling, but rather back toward your face. And buttock moves toward the floor. Right now, your right foot is on the floor. It's just your left leg that's stretching. In just a moment, a few more breaths, we're going to straighten the right leg. If you're shaking, you may have gone into it too far. Try moving the thigh, front of the thigh, into the back of the thigh and reaching the heel away. Now hold the leg where it is. You can hold on close to the foot if you'd like, closer to the foot. And see if you can stretch your right leg out. And as you stretch the right leg out, you may have to move away from your edge a little bit. You may be too far into it. And you're going to take your right hand onto the right thigh and press it into the floor. And then release and relax. Stretch through both heels and then drop the feet out. I didn't tell you to have a glass of water nearby. But as you're stretching, it might be a good thing to have some water as long as it's not going to, get in your way. But it might be good to have a little bit of water. And while you're relaxing, that little bit of water will rehydrate the fascia, that membrane that's around the inner body, around the muscles, around the bones, around the whole body. All right, so now we're going to try it on the right side. You bring the left foot onto the floor, stretch the right leg out. This side might be different than the other side, and find where you can comfortably rest with the leg straight. And you can continually move through that heel, reaching it away from the hip and dropping the right hip into the floor. And notice that your chin is nice and relaxed down. It's not poking up into the air. If it is, put a little blanket underneath your head and drop that chin down. All right, so we're going to relax here. We wrap the tie around the hands, or maybe you have the tie pulling back with the elbows bent and holding the weight of the leg that way. After breathing and relaxing for a little while, you might find that you could comfortably draw the leg a little closer to the face. You reach a new edge, you notice some intensity. You take the buttocks down, you reach the heel out. Maybe that relaxes some of the intensity as the front of the thigh moves into the back of the thigh. Breath is easy and relaxed. You take a breath in, and as you exhale, if you feel that you have that flexibility, you can come back a little closer to the face, maybe bringing the hands behind at this point. Reach through the heel, flex the toes back toward the face, and take the front of the thigh into the back of the thigh. Take the buttocks down, breathing. Now this leg may be tighter or less tight, or it may be the same tightness. Just depends on you and your body. Now, dropping into that hip, you're folding in the hip joint, not the knee. Folding in the hip joint, reaching through the heel. Imagining the front thigh moving into the back thigh. Resisting that movement with the tie. And letting the buttocks drop into the floor. And then we're going to reach the left leg out. And as we reach through that left leg, you may find that that increases the intensity for the right leg, and you might have to move away from it a little. Or you might be able to stay with it, but keep moving through the heel, moving the buttocks toward the floor. And then breath in. As you exhale, relax. Soften, bring the tie away, bring the leg down, reach out through both legs. And relax the legs, the feet open. Have a little saliva in your mouth, swallow it, and rehydrate. If you'd like to take a drink of water, go ahead. You can put your tie aside. And bring the feet behind the buttocks. Push off with the feet, lift your head, but keep your shoulder blades on the mat. And drag them down the back just by pushing off with your feet. Rocking the head from side to side. Hands on the thighs, let the abdomen drop in. So we're going to do one little back bend. We're going to do a bridge pose. Hands on the thighs, feet behind the buttocks. You might want to put a strap around your thighs so that your thighs stay the width of your hips. and your knees stay following the middle of the feet. You could press out into the thighs, into the strap as you come up. You could also put a block between your feet or a book between your feet and press in toward the feet as you come up. So right now we're going to press into the thighs, drawing the abdomen in as you exhale, relaxing the back of the neck, rocking the head from side to side. Take a breath in, maybe reach the arms and inhale, walk the shoulder blades down the back. As you exhale, come back to the thighs and press into the thighs and begin to push off with the feet and lift the sit bones towards the backs of the knees. Bringing the elbows down, walk the elbows toward each other, either taking the lower arms out in opposite directions, making right angles with the elbows, or you can interlace the fingers and walk the outer shoulders under and the shoulder blades toward each other. Should be a lot of space underneath your neck. Oh, if you had a blanket under your head, move it aside. And breathing and observing. Sit bones moving towards the backs of the knees, knees staying parallel. If you had the strap around your thighs, you can press out into that strap. If you have a book or a block between your feet, you can push in toward the block. And if you don't have either one of those, you can do the action so that the thighs move out while the shins move in, the feet move in. They don't really go anywhere. It's just an action to stabilize the legs so that the knees point and align with the middle of the feet. And you're breathing and observing. Can you soften a little bit? Relax just a little bit and keep the form. Soften the face, soften the eyes. Let the eyes relax back into the head. And then release your arms and your shoulders. And as you come down, you want to feel that the abdomen is steadying the pelvis, and you can pull up through the floor of the pelvis and draw the abdomen in and up, hollowing out the abdomen and coming back down with control, exhaling and releasing. Relaxing. So we're going to roll to the side and come back up to a seated position. You can bring your blanket underneath your buttocks. Have your blocks nearby, you might need them. If you have water, you can take a drink. And we're going to bring the feet together far from the pubic bone. And we're going to do the yin version of Baddha Konasana. You want the buttocks right under, you want the blanket right under your buttocks with your thighs off of the blanket and the heels pretty far from the pubic bone. In normal Baddha Konasana, you've got your heels right close to the pubic bone. This, we're taking it far away. And as you exhale, you're going to get really tall, reaching the torso long. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to begin to fold in the hip joints, coming forward. Abdomen moving toward the floor, and the front body staying open. And you might put your forearms on your legs, on your lower legs, or you might have them up on your thighs. If your hips bother you, you can put blocks underneath your thighs so that the thighs don't turn out quite as far. If you have one side that is much higher than the other side, take the block under the lower side so that your two sides are the same openness. And as you come forward, you're coming forward with the front body very long, very open. So don't collapse it, but keep it very long and very open. And coming forward as far as it's good for your body to come. When you find that you're about at your edge as far as you can go, you're either too uncomfortable to relax, or you're just hitting a physical limitation. At that point, you're going to just breathe and relax. And as you breathe, notice the back body is filling with that breath. And then the back body moves into the front body, extends the front body. And maybe you can go a little farther, maybe not. Eventually, you're going to find where your resting place is. And we're going to let the head drop. You've still got that openness in the front body. But we're going to let the head drop. You may have moments where you open back up with the head, come back up with the head, lengthen the front body and fold a little more if you find that you have a little more stretch than you thought you did. And then go back and rest with the head relaxed down. ready, coming back, walking the hands back, resting the hands behind, stretching the legs out. You move your blanket aside and rest on your back with your knees at your chest. Roll the knees around. Go the other way. And then relax in Shavasana. So you're on your back with your legs perhaps bent and the feet behind the buttocks. Maybe drop your knees in, maybe not. Or maybe you have your legs stretched out. Maybe you have blocks underneath your legs or a blanket underneath your legs. Maybe you have a blanket underneath your head. We're going to listen to the bell a little bit and then rest in Shavasana. Observing the body at rest. Allowing the brain to relax back toward the floor. The eyes to soften back toward the floor. The neck lengthens. And the throat relaxes back toward the floor. A little smile comes into the face. Not a smile that anyone else would even notice. So tiny. And yet it is an expression that tells the rest of the body that all is well. The relaxation you feel in your face moves down into your shoulders, down the arms, into your hands. Maybe the thumb and the first finger gently touch. So gentle a touch that it's almost not a touch. It's just very soft and gentle. Feeling that relaxation move down into the chest and the waist and the hips, buttocks, and then down the legs into the knees, the ankles, the feet, the toes. Every inhalation, the prana is restoring the energy of the body. Every exhalation, the body is letting go of what it does not need, letting go of tension and tightness, thoughts, emotions. And as you relax, the breath keeps breathing. Nothing that you need to do, just being present. If the mind wanders and gets a little busy, just reminding the mind to come back to the relaxation. Dwelling in the present moment. Recognizing there is no other moment, just the present moment. Bringing to mind our loved ones, our friends, our classmates, and wishing everyone well. And including in that group people we don't know, animals and plants, the earth itself. Wishing that we all might feel safe and at peace. And free from suffering and the roots of suffering. Namaste. The love in me greets the love in you. And when we recognize that love in each other, then we are one. Namaste. Thank you for your practice.